Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, live, learn, grow on Penyo channel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hello, hi Penyo community, Bafenyi, Conquerors. We are more than conquerors. Unleash the power within. It's a feel good now kind of vibe. First timers, awesome. Welcome to Penyo channel. Subscribers and regulars, thank you, grateful, much appreciated. Keep coming and stay. Penyo means victory, for we are victorious. It's a triumphal procession. Today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be better than today. Book I Went to Hell by Kenneth Hagin. Summary: Kenneth was born prematurely with a deformed heart. He survived but never ran and played like other children. He never had a normal childhood. At 15 years, he became totally bedfast. 5 doctors said he had to die. He couldn't live. He was there on a bed. His mother, grandmother, youngest brother, pet were sitting there in the room with him, for he had taken a turn for worse. His heart had stopped beating. He could feel his blood cease to circulate way down at the bottom of his toes. His toes seemed to go numb. The numbness spread to his feet, ankles, hips, stomach, and heart. He leaped out of his body. He did not lose consciousness. He knew he was outside of his body. He could see his family in the room, but could not contact them. In his mind, he wanted to say goodbye to his mother, granny, little brother, but he leaped out of his body before he could get the words out fully. He began to descend down, down, down into a pit, like you'd go into a well or a cave. He could look up and see the light of the earth. It finally faded away. Darkness encompassed him around about, darkness that is blacker than any night man has ever seen. It seemed that if you had a knife, you could cut a chunk out of it. You couldn't see your hand if it was 1 inch in front of your nose. The further down he went, the darker it became, and the hotter it became, until finally, way down beneath him, he could see fingers of light playing on the wall of darkness, and he came to the bottom of the pit. He saw what caused the fingers of light to play on the wall of darkness. Out in front of him, beyond the gates or the entrance into hell, he saw giant, great orange flames with a white crest. He was pulled towards hell just like a magnet pulls metal into itself. He knew that once he entered through those gates, he could not come back. He endeavored to slow down his descent, because when he came to the bottom of the pit, there still was a slant downwards. He was conscious of the fact that some kind of a creature met him at the bottom of the pit. He didn't look at it. His gaze was riveted on the gates, yet he knew that a creature was there by his right side. Isaiah 14 verse 9. The creature, when he endeavored to slow down his descent, took him by the arm to escort him in. When he did, away above the blackness and the darkness, a voice spoke. It sounded like a male voice, but he doesn't know whether it was God, Jesus, an angel, or who. It spoke in a foreign language. That place shook at the few words he spoke, and the creature took his hand off his arm. There was a power like a suction to his back parts that pulled him back. He floated away from the entrance of hell until he stood in the shadows. Then, like a suction from above, he floated up, head first through the darkness. Before he got to the top, he could see the light. He was down in a well. It was like he was way down in a well and could see the light up above. Then he went right through the wall, not the door, and not through the window, through the wall, and seemed to leap inside his body, like a man would slip his foot inside his boot. Before he leaped inside his body, he could see his grandmother sitting on the edge of his bed, holding him in her arms. When he got inside his body, he could communicate with her. He felt his going again and said his goodbyes to Granny, told her how he appreciated her being his second mother, and he kissed her on her cheek and said goodbye. His heart stopped for the second time. down into the darkness with the light fading away. The further he went down, the hotter and darker it became until the bottom of the pit. The creature came again, took him by the arm. When he did, that voice spoke again, a man's voice in a foreign tongue. The place shook and the creature took his hand off his arms. He was pulled up headfirst, could see the lights of the earth above him. He came up out of the pit. The only difference this time was that he came up at the foot of the bed. For a second he stood there. He could see his body lying there on the bed. He could see Grandma as she sat there holding him in her arms. He seems to leap from the foot of the bed inside his body through his mouth. Then he got back inside his body. He could communicate with Granny. He said to Granny, "He's going again and he won't be back this time." Granny said she thought he wasn't coming back the last time. Again he said his goodbyes, even left a message for Grandpa, his sister and brothers. He left a word for each of them and his heart stopped for the third time. He thought this was not happening to him. This is just a hallucination. It can't be real. But then he thought, this is the third time and he won't be back this time. Darkness encompassed around him, darker than any night man has ever seen. Matthew 8 verse 12. In the darkness he cried out, "God, I belong to the church. I've been baptized in water." He was telling God he shouldn't be going this direction. It's the wrong direction. He waited for an answer, but there was no answer. He said it again, the second time louder. There was no answer. The third time he screamed, "God, God, I belong to the church. I've been baptized in water." But you see, although being baptized in water is right, although belonging to the church is right, it takes more than just belonging to the church and more than being baptized in water to miss hell and go to heaven. He only heard the echo of his voice as it echoed through the darkness. He came again to the bottom of the pit. He could feel the heat as it beat him in the face. He approached the entrance, the gate into hell itself. The creature took him by the arm. He only managed to slow down his descent just a little, and he took him by the arm. That voice spoke. He didn't see anybody. He just heard the voice. He doesn't know what he said, but whatever he said, that place shook. It just trembled, and the creature took his hand off his arm. It was just like there was a suction to his back parts. It pulled him back way from the entrance of hell until he stood in the shadows. Then it pulled him up headfirst. As he was going up through the darkness, he began to pray, "Oh God, I come to you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. I ask you to forgive me of my sins and cleanse me from all my sins." He came up behind the bed. The difference between the three experiences is that he came up on the porch the first time, he came up at the foot of the bed the second time, and he came up right beside the bed the third time and leaped right inside his body. When he got inside his body, his physical voice picked up his prayer right in the middle of the sentence. He was praying out of his spirit. His physical voice picked up his prayer and continued to pray. This happened in April 1933. It took 10 minutes. Saturday night, south bedroom of 405N College Street in the city of McKinney, Texas. Thanks for watching. Kindly like, share, comment and subscribe. Be the light and keep shining. Heart to heart, from my heart to yours, it's all love. La 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 la. Heart to heart, from my heart to yours, it's all love. Thanks for watching. Pay your channel. Take care. Love, joy, peace, faith, hope. La 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 la.